Hello and welcome to today's Web News, where we'll be taking a look at some of the stories making the online headlines. Coming up on today's show, support for Russia's LGBT community during the Sochi Olympics. Outrage after a Copenhagen zoo kills a giraffe. And an American man invents the one-wheel electric skateboard. The colours of the rainbow flag have been featuring prominently on social media since the start of the Sochi Winter Olympics last Friday. Countless web users have changed their profile picture to an image showing the Olympic rings as rainbow-coloured hearts, or displaying the gay pride flag. It's one way of showing their support for Russia's LGBT community. Web users have also been posting under the hashtag Sochi Equality, protesting against a law passed in Russia in June that bans gay propaganda and encouraging others to support the fight for LGBT rights. There have also been numerous calls to boycott any television coverage of the Olympic Games. Google showed support for the movement by draping its welcome page logo in the LGBT rainbow flag on the day of the Sochi Olympics opening ceremony. An article from the Olympic Charter was quoted underneath the doodle and translated into every language. It read, "Every individual must have the possibility of practicing sport without discrimination of any kind." And last week, the Canadian Institute of Diversity and Inclusion released a hilarious ad featuring slow-motion footage of men's doubles luge. The spot is intended as an expression of support for equality and encourages people to campaign for inclusiveness at the Games. It ends with a message, "The Games have always been a little gay. Let's fight to keep them that way." Was the man responsible for the Olympic ring mishap during the Sochi Olympics opening ceremony killed? This article has been widely relayed on social networks and suggests just that. It claims a technician who failed to ensure all 5 rings lit up was found dead in his hotel room, his body riddled with stab wounds. The story is, however, completely false and was published by satire website The Daily Current, which specialises in fabricated news and hoaxes. Messages from outraged web users have been pouring into Denmark's Copenhagen Zoo Facebook page after the park killed a perfectly healthy 18-month-old giraffe named Marius. The reason? It was considered too useless for breeding because its genes were too common. The zoo is part of a European Association of Zoos and Aquaria program in which only unrelated giraffes are allowed to breed. So Marius couldn't be transferred to another zoo and was shot dead on Sunday and then dissected in front of a large crowd of spectators, including a number of children. The remains were then fed to the lions. So the protests from animal lovers the world over were in vain. A number of online petitions have been started urging the zoo to spare Marius. This one, posted to petitionsite.com, for example, garnered over 27,000 signatures. Social networks have since been flooded with posts from angry web users. The backlash has been so strong that the zoo has issued an online statement justifying the decision. It says contraception or castration aren't an option because that can have unwanted side effects, and that the giraffe would have had little chance of survival if released back into the wild. The zoo also said the giraffe couldn't be sold to a zoo or individual outside of the breeding program. But these arguments have done little to convince or appease web users, and there are now multiple calls to close the Copenhagen Zoo. I can tell you Photoshop your pictures to make yourself skinnier. You think you're pretty and unique? These are a couple of the many anonymous taunts US art student Lindsay Bottos has been receiving when she posts selfies online. And she's turned them into an art project called Anonymous, which is available to view on her Tumblr blog. She hopes the collection will draw attention to this type of cruel treatment that other girls online also have to deal with on a daily basis. French web users have been posting under the hashtag LPLPP for Laissez parler les petits papiers, which translates into English as "Let the post-it notes do the talking." They've been having a field day, coming up with all manner of play on words, using soft drinks, clothing brands, and also book titles. The idea is proving so popular that some brand names are also getting in on the act. And you can check out the pics on the purposely created Tumblr page. This is the one-wheel electric skateboard designed by Kyle Durskin, an American skateboard enthusiast who wanted to create a board that gives you the feeling of flying. And thanks to the generosity of web users and an online fundraising campaign, this futuristic board will soon be available in shops.
Under a minute. And there's plenty of room to challenge yourself by riding more aggressively or inventing new tricks. There are no hand controls. You just lean toward your front foot to go faster and your back foot to slow down, or even reverse. Regenerative braking kicks in as you come to a... We made One Wheel a maneuverable and dynamic experience. And unlike skateboarding, where you feel every little crack and pebble in the street, One Wheel feels a lot more like surfing or snowboarding. The large tire and carefully tuned algorithms allow you to carve the pavement